All right, Sam and James, I think we're going to kick off. And here we go. Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Webinar Wednesday. Glad you could take the time to be with us today. I want to point out we do have a giveaway that will be done. The raffle will be done at the end of the webinar. So make sure you're present to be eligible to win the giveaway from today. So a little bit about myself. I'm John Spallone, your host from XenTegra, and I've been in the industry now for over 26 plus years. I've worked all angles of IT, from the help desk to administrator to consultant, architecture. Recently came from Citrix, where I worked with the worldwide enablement team. And basically I was helping enable technical partners, internal resources, and customers about technologies within the digital workspace and how it works for you in the cloud. I've been here with XenTegra now for about a year, and connoisseur of dad jokes, as well as raising my 3 nerdy kids, making sure that they carry on my legacy. So a little bit about XenTegra, if you're not aware, give you some background. If you are, get some additional background. So we're a reseller and services provider, as well as solutions. We also handle managed services for our customers as it relates to the entire digital virtual workspace and all those solutions that would come within that environment. We focus on anything that is industry trends, and also something that can be disruptive technologies and how they can assist you and make your environment secure and also better for your end users to produce more productivity as we go into these environments. Our founder, Andy Whiteside, came from Citrix. He was along the same idea of enablement, making sure that there was enablement to the customers out there. It's something that was lacking from most of the partners in our space of how do we help you understand what you have today, and how do we help you take advantage of those services, optimize those services, and what other solutions are out there that you're not aware of that could solve a pain point that you're coming across. So with that, I've got with us today James and Sam from RingCentral, and they're going to be discussing with you and handling any questions as they come up. I would like to note, if there are any questions, please post them in the Q&A. We'll address them as we go along. But with that, I'm going to hand it over to both Sam and James, and thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sam Thompson. I am the Senior Sales Enablement Trainer at RingCentral, and I'm going to be kicking off James and I's presentation. So I have just a couple of slides to kind of talk a little bit about what RingCentral brings to the table and why one should consider cloud communications. From there, James is going to talk a little bit more about VDI. He's going to talk a little bit more about some of the technical aspects of what we bring to the table and how that could potentially address the needs of your particular business to help future-proof you against anything that may come that we couldn't possibly ever anticipate happening. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And let me go into full screen mode. All right. So a couple of benefits of moving to the cloud. Premise is not going away, but it is slowly transitioning out. And the last couple of years have really shown not just employees, but also key business owners and decision makers that having multiple ways to do things and having the ability to work from multiple locations is of benefit, not just to the business, but to the employee and really to productivity overall. So the biggest benefit is that it can be accessed from remote locations. No longer is work someplace that we go, it's what we do. And a cloud-based environment is going to provide you with the tools to work from wherever you may happen to be. It also eliminates difficult implementation processes. And a lot of times those implementations can not just be difficult, but really costly. The capital expenditures that are required in order to keep and maintain a premise-based solution can be overwhelming for businesses at times. In a cloud-based environment, everything is in a data center off away from you, and someone else really has the responsibility of maintaining that on your behalf. So it makes it where your IT and your technical personnel can focus on the core business and not having to focus a lot of time, energy, and expense on the communications platform. Cloud is very, very reliable. At RingCentral, I like to say we drink our own champagne. We are our #1 customers of the platform. And so knowing that we have to keep it up in order to be able to demonstrate to prospects, to partners, and to customers how reliable the solution is and how great it is something that we put a lot of time in. I'm going to talk a little bit more about reliability in just a bit. And most importantly, you're going to be prepared for disaster recovery. So we do have 17 or 18 different data centers around the globe. We have POPs in a number of different locations. We have relationships with about 45 or more different ISPs, which means that we have an ability to make sure that if there is a problem anywhere that might impact any customer, we can quickly reroute that information or reroute that data. And our data centers are active. So it's not going to be a situation where you're going to be down for an extended period of time while something is trying to be repaired. We anticipate the problem, reroute that data or reroute that traffic to make sure that the customer is not negatively impacted. So we were talking about high availability. I do want to point out we are 99.999% availability, and we provide service level agreements. What that means in layman's terms is that's going to be less than 6 minutes of unscheduled downtime on an annual basis. One of the other great things about RingCentral and cloud in general is that when an update needs to be done, it does not mean that your whole system has to go down in order for that to occur. Again, we can just simply reroute the traffic, keep you up and running, and push out those updates that need to happen. I mentioned we have relationships with other ISPs and other carriers out there. We've got direct PSTN gateway connections that we can do. Talked about the zero downtime for your upgrades, the 45 carriers, 200 plus ISPs around the globe that we have relationships with. And we have a NOC that is up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So they're out there watching the weather, they're watching other conditions that might impact performance and making sure that the customers are not negatively impacted. This gives you a business continuity model that for a lot of businesses would be really, really cost prohibitive. I used to work at another company, and one of my sales engineers used to say that a lot of times business continuity or disaster recovery, you're at the mercy of your dollar. And in a cloud-based environment, your provider, RingCentral, is making sure that those disaster recovery models and those plans are already built in there for you. So I like to say it's like Prego, it's just in there. Security is our strength. We undergo audits, third-party audits on a regular basis to make sure that our processes and our protocols are stringent and are top of the line to make sure that, again, no customer's information or data is compromised. So how do we do that? We basically bring to you what we like to call our single interface, which is our desktop solution. But that desktop is not limited to a literal desktop. You can be on your laptop, you can be on your mobile device, you can be on a tablet, but we give you the flexibility to communicate on whatever device that works best for you at that time, but also allows for you to communicate in the way that works best for you. So it's not just voice, it's messaging, it's video, it's phone or voice as well, it's faxing, it's your SMS, it's chats, it's your contact center, all built into a single interface and a single place to go. The benefit of that single place to go is that it's going to increase productivity because your employees are not having to figure out, where do I go to do this? You can work from anywhere. All the apps are in one place. in one place, and helps you to grow your business because, again, you're not limited to a physical location. Your technology, your communications platform is wherever your employees happen to be. So in regards to messaging, there are a number of things that I could tell you about our messaging. I'm going to point out just a couple that really are my favorites. I love that the history is always there. So anything that you post in a team or in a group or in a message situation is there until you delete it. There's also no size limitation. So if you think about if you're using Outlook, I'm a trainer. I create really large PowerPoint presentations. And if I tried to share that with one of my teammates through Outlook, I'm going to get that little pop-up box from my IT team that says, no, ma'am, that is just far too big. But if I needed to send that same PowerPoint presentation through our messaging platform, no problem, I can send it. In fact, I have actually sent a recording of a class that I did. It was a 2.5-hour class. It was a 3.2 gig file that I needed to send to my teammates. And I was able to do that through our messaging platform. No harm, no foul, and it's out there and it's there until I delete it or I go out and update it. The other thing that I like is that we do have an open platform. So if there's some third-party messaging or something maybe homegrown at a business, that can be integrated into our messaging platform as well. And it can be accessed from that same desktop interface. We integrate with a number of different things. Jimmy is going to talk about that in a little bit, so I won't steal his thunder on that one. The next area we want to talk about is video. And video is where you can have one-on-ones, you can have one-to-many. It supports up to like 200 or 300 people. You can share files, notes, events, videos, all of that in the video platform. And again, it still has that 5.9 uptime with a service level agreement built into that. We've got virtual backgrounds. We've got closed captioning. You can collaborate with people before and after the meetings. You can keep track of what happened. You can record it and share those recordings in that single platform, again, because there is no size limitation. So it's really video for a lot of businesses and for a lot of people. Video has to become the new one-on-one. It has become the new face-to-face meeting because people are now working in a number of different places that maybe prior to, say, 2020, we were not working in those places at that time. So this really expands that need to have that human connection if I can't be physically in the same place as you. And then phone, the number one way that people communicate both personally and professionally is messaging. But I like to say sometimes there's a disconnect between keyboard and brain, and you just need to talk it out. Sometimes we're filtering it through different realities and we're not understanding each other's perspective, and a conversation needs to be had. With RingCentral's desktop solution, it's literally maybe I'm messaging with you and I click one button and I can escalate a messaging session into an actual phone call so that we can talk to each other. If you do business outside of the United States, we can provide service in 100 different virtual numbers in 100 plus countries. We have 275 plus integrations that we can do, and those are just the out of the box ones. We won't even go into the 2,600 custom integrations that we've done over the years. We can have a number of different network connectivity options that are available, so we can support SD-WAN as well as others. And we are in compliance with the various industry regulatory standards. So if you're in healthcare, we got you covered with HIPAA. If you're a financial institution, FINRA. We're a high trust company, basically meaning we go through some additional rigorous processes and evaluations in order to get that high trust. And what that does is that any other compliances, any other regulatory requirements that come down the line, we're going to be first in line to get that because we have put ourselves out there for that high trust certification. And then PCI, so if you're picking up or if you're getting credit card information or other financial information, we do have PCI built in to make sure that we're keeping that information confidential as well. That is all that I have. But before I hand it over to my counterpart, Jimmy, What questions can I answer for you?
The QA looked clean, so nobody had any questions. So I think we're good to go.
Awesome sauce. Well, I'm going to hand the baton over to you, Jimmy.
All right. So thank you, Sam. Well done. And thank you, everyone, for attending today. My name is Jim Kuplis. I am a channel engineer with RingCentral. I support the partners and therefore, do training and enablement on our solution and all the applications that we integrate with. So today we're going to talk a little bit about a VDI environment. So whether you're running VMware or Citrix or any other VDI software in your architecture, we have an application that we run on the desktop, which establishes a direct media channel to our data center from your endpoint to eliminate hops when it comes to your voice connection. So this will guarantee reliability. I think the next slide is a little, I think bump to the next slide, Sam. I think it has a little automated. So basically what we do is we establish a direct media connection between your client and the software. If you go onto the RingCentral apps page, which will show you, I think it's one of the next upcoming slides, it'll show you the Citrix environment. It has the VMware environment, so you're able to download that software on your workstation and have that available for you. So we work really well in this environment, and it's a great partnership that we have there. So next slide. And this is just, to show you, in the Citrix environment, again, we provide better audio, we provide faster communications with our direct connection. And again, the management with, as Sam mentioned, our security is second to none. And again, we can guarantee our reliability with the connections that we have through our software. So again, helps keeps you optimized in that environment. When normally there would be multiple hops, we can guarantee reliability on voice quality. So next slide. And this is just a little bit of a screenshot here, what it looks like. You'll notice the first picture on the left, it shows you the little sine wave sign that, shows you that the media is optimized on the icon is on, and then all the way to the right, it shows you when it is not. So again, it will give you the different options there. So again, the first two are kind of the same. The second one just shows you without it what it will look like. So you'll be able to tell the difference between that call or not. So next. All right, administration made easy. This is one of the the best features of our solution is our management of the software. So again, it's very easily managed. The beautiful thing is whether you're one location or 100 locations, everything is managed from one site. Whether you're adding extensions, adding phone lines, again, we are your carrier and we also are your service provider. So, we're going to give you all the extension features, but again, we also provide the dial tone, as Sam mentioned earlier, and with the knock and everything that we have in place and our guaranteed reliability. The other nice feature about this is also you get 4 updates a year. So every quarter, you're getting a brand new system. RingCentral is never older than the quarter passed. So again, 4 upgrades a year. We follow our software upgrades with the year. So it's 22.2. We're in the second quarter right now. So that is the software that we're running this management. And as Sam mentioned, when upgrades occur, they're non-service affecting because of the built-in redundancy. We're able to upgrade servers and again, switch over to opposite servers without any interruption of service to you, the customer. So it makes it painless. Easy to manage, easy to make adds, moves, changes, deletions. It's very simple. We provide, different packages, and within that, you can have the ability to manage it as much as you want or as much as you do not want. If you want XenTegra to manage everything for you, not a problem. But adds, moves, and changes are simple. We have full video tutorials on all the features within the system. So if you want to add an extension, you could just go to the add extension button. And below that, you'll see on the bottom of the administrator, they'll give you, icons, to go to RingCentral University or how to add an extension or how to call forward. So it's very easy to do adds, moves, and changes. I also, if people change, jobs or somebody leaves a department and you need to remove them from the system, it's very easy to just change the password when you change the password, it locks that person out from their phone. So there's nothing they can do regardless if they have a physical phone at their location, whether they have their soft phone or, their, mobile device. Once you change the password as an administrator, it locks them completely out. And, they, even though it may seem like it's logged in, they can't go in and make the next call. So, again, very easy adds, moves, and changes. And again, very easy for training purposes and everything else. Simple device management. So we do not manufacture phones. We work with the industry leaders. We work with Polycom, Yealink, Cisco, Avaya, and Mitel, some of the phones that we have in place today. We have assisted provisioning with these phones. So basically all you need to do is just when you add an extension, it's going to ask you what model phone you have. With the assisted provisioning, all it's going to ask you to do is basically flip over the phone. It's going to ask you to type in the MAC address that's on the sticker on the back of the phone, and the phones will automatically attach. The phones can plug and play. And the beauty is you can go into the portal, you can add 2 or 3 or 100 users, and you can pick phones for them, and you can even set the address where you want the phones to be delivered to. We deliver right to site. The phones come plug and ring ready. So again, all they have to do is plug the phones into a network connection. The phones will automatically attach. And again, the only thing you have to do for assisted provisioning is just type in that the IP address, the MAC address on the back of the phone. So again, management, very simple, very easy to use. And then no more silos, right? So we provide services, I think we're up to now in 52 countries globally. And then we also provide, I think it's 147, what we call international virtual numbers that we can provide. So again, we have different dialing plans within the solution. But again, no matter how many locations, admin, everything is all in one location. So that's what makes it really beautiful. Again, admin is a breeze. You can create multiple sites within the one system, but again, everything is in one location, whether you're at home, whether you're on the road, in a hotel, on a business travel, vacation, you need to get into the system. It's very simple. You have what we call Service Web, which is our web admin interface, which allows you to log into the system from anywhere. And again, you can give different levels of service to other workers in your location, which will let them have levels of admin, as you permit as the, super admin. So next slide. So that was a lot there. I want to just stop right there just to look. Okay, there were no questions on admin. I know I was rambling on there. The next great thing about our solution is our open API platform. If you were to go into our data centers, the one thing that you're going to notice is that we have no third-party equipment in there. We have no BroadSoft switches. We have no Meta switches in there. All our telephony application servers in our data centers, we have built from the ground up from day one. And what that means to you is that has given us the ability to keep our APIs and our software open for people to integrate software to. And that's what you see on this page. You're going to see a list. I think we're over 285 integrations out of the box. So what you see here is this list scrolls up, and I think it's going to scroll from the bottom again. There's over 285 integrations that we have that if you signed up today, you signed up with an account. If you have Salesforce, you have Zendesk, Freshdesk, Zapier, any one of these solutions. Again, Sam, if you just want to go back and forth to that refreshes just one more time so people can see it. I know I was rambling on there. So again, all these applications that we have here out of the box. Oh, well, yeah, there we go. We're able to integrate. So if you have Zoho, Salesforce, you have click to dial with the CRM. You have screen pop, which gives you the ability when the customer calls in, their information pop up. So again, you don't have to, go through the trouble of, digging up their information. It's already there for you. It also keeps reports of your contact history. So if you call them, you send them a text message, it gives you that information there. If you're recording a call in some applications, it gives you the call recording piece there. We also have, when you're doing call recording, you have the ability to do analytics on the words, that are being spoken. So we have analytical software that allows you. So again, there's lots of great stuff with our APIs. And even for customers that have created their own APIs in-house with their own software development team. Again, because of our APIs that are open, we give you access to all our software, and we also give, if you have software developers, we'll give them access to our software development kit, which will allow them to get a 4-user sandbox account for free, and they can, create any software that integration that you may have running with your solutions inside. So really good stuff here. Again, if you have any of these integrations that you would like to, speak with your rep with XenTegra, they would love to, work with you on that one. Next slide. Okay, Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to kind of do this a little bit. So the first is our embedded dialer. So there's a couple of different options for users that are using Microsoft Teams out there. We have different flavors. We have what we call our embedded dialer, and we have what we call our native or our direct routing integration. So if you, the customer, are using Teams, we have a solution. We integrate with Microsoft Teams in 2 capacities. One, we could be the carrier, which is our native dialing, but the first one we're going to cover is our embedded dialer. The embedded dialer is basically what we do is we act as the third-party integration. You don't need a PBX license from Microsoft to enable this. So all you would need in this case, if you want to use Teams to dial out, would be the ability to download the app. Microsoft lets us use the app space here. Think of it as an inline frame. So it's kind of like a web browser within Teams. And what it does is it lets you control all the commands if you want to answer a call, field a call, make a call from the application. If you want to send a text message or if you want to send a fax to somebody, it lets you use that, but it lets you do it through Teams, but it processes it through our application. It will pop up, whether it be an incoming call or an outbound call. And same thing for a text message. There'll be a field within the application that lets you take advantage of the components that Microsoft Teams is missing. So we complete the solution in this capacity, and it's very compelling because the solution that we offer, again, you got the 5 nines guarantee. So if Microsoft Teams does go down, you have RingCentral there as a backup solution where you'll never be without dial tone. So it's a great solution in that capacity as well for a level of redundancy that Microsoft may not provide at that level. So that is the embedded dialer. And again, we give you the ability to do texting, and we also give you the ability to do faxing, all within the application. And we continue as Microsoft opens up this embedded portion, we're able to add more and more features as we go. I can't speak to future releases, but there's some good stuff that they're allowing us to populate in the next go round. So we're very excited about that. Next slide. So Microsoft Cloud for Teams, again, this is what we were talking about before. Again, the native dialing gives you the ability to keep everything within Teams. So for the user that wants to be native in Teams and not know anything RingCentral, that's what native integration is for you. We can provide the dial tone, and like Sam mentioned earlier, you have the same global footprint as RingCentral. You have access to over the 285 integrations. You got the 5 nines uptime reliability, and you also have us again for disaster recovery. You also get to take advantage of all the features, because basically what we're doing is we're front-ending all the services. So you can take advantage of our auto attendance, our call routing, our advanced call routing options like holiday routing, holiday scripts and stuff like that. You can have multiple auto attendants, one for day, one for night. If you're like, say, like a car dealership where you have multiple locations, each location may have the same generic auto attendant, or you may want different ones. Thank you for calling this Honda, thank you for calling this Ford, Chevy, so forth and so on. So if you have multiple locations and you have to act independently, we can do that as well. So really good stuff. Next slide. Oh, and then the last thing on that too is also the analytics. You get all the call reporting and insight that you get with RingCentral. So you're going to get real-time analytics. You're going to get called number reporting. You're going to get quality of service reporting. You're going to get line of business features that are brand new. So we have a new reporting tool called Line of Business Analytics, which allow you to take what segments you want and create your own report, how you want to see it, whether you want it in a pie chart, a bar graph, or a line graph. You can customize your own reports and keep an active view on those line of business analytics that are important to you, and the organization. So really good stuff there. All right. And then lastly is the native Teams experience. So again, we're in the background. So again, you still get to take advantage of all, even though we are in the background and nobody knows RingCentral is in play, with the exception of the IT staff, basically. What's going to happen here is if a call comes in, it's going to ring in on RingCentral. The phone numbers that we provide within RingCentral are going to be delivered to the Teams app, and you can kind of see in the on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see the little phone icon, which gives you the dial pad that you see in the Teams app on the left-hand side there. Also, if you log in with the mobile app, that will also give you the ability to log in. Nobody knows that RingCentral's there. It's just the phone number that we're providing. But we can also take advantage of all those features. Again, the integrations with the CRMs. You could take advantage of our auto attendance, our mobility capabilities, the redundancy, the reporting, the call recording, all those features that we do. We basically front end all those features for the Teams integration. So again, we make it Teams appear, for the user that they're only in Teams, but running in the background are all the RingCentral apps, in the foreground and the background, completing the solution. So again, we have great options for you if you are in a Teams environment. Next slide. All right, I think that about does it. I just want to go to the Q&A. Is there any questions about what we covered today, whether it be the Teams, the the admin software, anything, any questions on that before we get to the giveaway? Looks like a little wheel of fortune today. So with that, it was a pleasure meeting you all virtually, and hopefully look forward to working with you one day in person. So.
Sure. Thanks, James. Sam,
Yeah, no
thanks as
problem.
well. So we don't have any questions, do we?
That means
Claire?
we were awesome in our execution of the delivery.
There you go. And I will hand it over to Claire now from our XenTegra team, who will handle our Wheel of Winners.
Wheel of Winners. Yes, here we go. Hold on just a second. Let me share my screen with you guys so you can see. All right, here's all the participants for today, and I'll do this. We're doing 2 raffles, so let me do wheel number 1. Paul. All right, Paul, perfect. Congratulations.
All right,
There.
Paul.
All right, let me do one more. So hold on just a second.
Round and round it goes.
Oh, look at that. It even removes Paul from it. Look at that.
And then,
Oh!
It's Sam Palmer.
all right, Palmer K. So what will happen is that I will, RingCentral will reach out to you with those gift cards after this. So thank you so much for attending.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so I'm going
Thank
to
you.
take a couple of minutes here real quick. And again, I want to thank you, James and Sam, for being with us today. What I do want to do is cover real quickly here. Let's go. Our upcoming events from our webinar Wednesdays for this month. We have Remo 3, which will be on June 15th at 1 p.m. and Bitdefender will be June 29th at 1 p.m. Our workshops and boot camps for this month, we have our Nutanix 101 on June 10th, and that's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. iGel workshop is on June 23rd, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern, and Liquidware workshop. I haven't seen that one in a while, but that one's back. That'll be on June 24th, 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. These are all Eastern Standard Times. So again, make sure you head out to the events page on XenTegra.com, and then XenTegra, man, it's really a bad one today. Anywho, go to our events page and you can register for our webinars, our workshops. You'll see everything that's upcoming this month into, I believe, August is how far it's booked out right now. So with that, I want to thank everybody, RingCentral, James and Sam, being with us one more time again today. And thank you for attending with everything. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
This has been your Webinar Wednesday.
Thanks, guys. Have a
Thanks,
great weekend.
everyone. Everybody enjoy the weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.